You do a clap.
Nope. Let's try that again.
That was a wet clap.
A wet clap.
You did a wet clap. Good wet clap.
That's gonna be a good outro. We got a wet clap.
Wet clap. Wet clap.
Hey, welcome to episode 76 of Front Seat Gamer. I'm Nick. I'm here with Severn.
Welcome back, Nick.
Thank you. And Blake.
Welcome back, Nick.
Thank you, guys. How's it going?
It's all right. Man, it was tough without you.
Was it?
Yep.
I haven't listened to it, but people, I think, said they were fun episodes to listen to.
Oh, wait. Do you have something about that? Just by chance?
What do you mean?
About how well... like...
Oh, yes. We do have some
Can we
emails.
just segue right into it?
I did just pick a couple of random emails.
Yeah, totally
I didn't
random.
really look at them. I just saw, we'll get Nick
All
to
right.
read them out. So.
Normally, we save questions to the end, at which point we forget to ask them, and we
Are
run
they
out of
questions?
time. But, well, no, these seem to be more like compliments. I'm going to read these
Really?
out. It's almost as if Blake handpicked these.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's weird. This one says it's from Blake, so this is no. I'm kidding. I'm going to read some of these out.
This is from Blake's mum.
This one says it's from Blake at gmail.com. This is weird. That's not his actual email, but feel free to email him. Anyway,
almost is my email.
See if you can find him. I'm going to read these out because we normally don't, but Blake wanted me to read these out. Hey, Friends Seatcast. I'd like to thank you guys for doing the podcast. I really like all of the content you put out there, the D&D/roleplay episodes, the guests you bring onto the show, and the fascinating topics such as hot or cold pizza and space versus dinosaurs. Big thanks to Blake for holding down the fort and hosting while Nick is busy. You're doing a great job, man.
Thanks, man.
Keep up the great work. Cheers from Denmark. That's the country of Denmark. Congratulating
Yeah,
Blake.
I know. The whole of Denmark listens.
That's really nice.
They must be listening on, like, one shared device because the numbers don't show
No, it doesn't.
that the whole country is listening.
Yeah, they gather around.
Yeah.
That's socialism for you.
Yeah. What?
The people's iPod.
And there's a second one here. Blake, you did an awesome job.
Oh,
What was the game that you discussed at the end of the last episode? It was some kind of mind-blowing choose-your-own-adventure horror game, but I couldn't catch the name. Thanks, Nick. P.S. I play all the same weird games that you do that Nick and Severn have never heard of, like Kingdom and Thea Awakening. Keep talking about these. It makes the podcast a lot more interesting.
I will.
All right. And what was the game?
Yeah, what was the game?
I'm pretty sure it was Oxenfree that Ryan brought up right at the end, and he said it blew his mind 3 times in 3 different playthroughs.
Cool.
Yeah.
What is it? What kind of game is it?
It's a like.
Is it a mind-blowing choose-your-own-adventure
Yes,
horror
I was
game?
just gonna say it's a choose your own adventure. I don't think it's. Well, I don't know. I haven't played it, but like I didn't think it was a horror. Maybe just like a weird, Twin Peaksy feeling, sort of mysterious kind of thing. But it might be horror. I don't.
Okay.
You should check it out.
Yeah.
Is it good?
You kind of have to see it.
All right.
Yeah.
Sure. Maybe we'll do that. So, I mean,
Yeah.
is there more that you wanted me to read, Blake? I mean, I'm totally just reading these unprompted.
Let me just. No, but there was actually there was something that because Nick had his wedding last week, and
That's
we all went to his wedding.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a married man now. Sorry, ladies, I'm off the market.
They're all
Blakey
switching off their devices
Yeah.
now.
Oh no, our listenership has dropped by none.
But your dad, we talked to your dad, and he was a fan of the podcast.
Yes, he is a big fan.
And I talked to your mum, and she was a fan of the podcast.
She listens primarily to the start of the episode.
Well, here's something interesting.
Okay.
Because she came up to me and said, I'm a fan of the podcast. I like the podcast. And then she says, I felt so sorry for you on the last podcast because both Severn and Nick are off having lives, and you're stuck doing the podcast.
Thanks, Mom. That's cute.
But she seemed to enjoy it, so that was fun. It was fun.
It was cool.
Yeah.
I'm not even really sure. What were you doing, Severn?
My mother had a birthday party.
Oh,
So I
nice.
actually went down to Wellington and hung
Happy
out with her.
birthday to Severn's mom.
Yeah.
She doesn't listen to
Oh,
man.
no. Well,
Yeah.
then, no.
But I think
still
she
happy
said the
birthday.
exact same thing about Blake.
She just said, I feel so sorry for Blake.
Poor Blake and his
My,
life.
have I told you my parents listen to the podcast every once? Well, I think they listen to it pretty regularly.
Okay.
And they said to me that the reason they don't call or visit so often anymore is because they hear me speaking every couple of weeks and
Yeah.
feel like they're up to date with what I'm doing anyway.
That's what my mom and dad said the same thing.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, no, I just feel like I know what's going on. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's the podcast.
I don't need to call. I just listen to the podcast.
No, but you guys should definitely still talk to me sometimes, right?
It's a very one way.
yeah.
I don't know what's happening in your life.
Put out a podcast.
Momcast. Yeah, that was cool. So you guys met my family and some of my other friends.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Your bachelor party was pretty fun.
Yeah,
Yep.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was fun. We did some laser tag and some drinking.
Escape room.
Escape room. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was super fun. And
Blake, you got a pretty funny story out of it.
Well, the
Yeah.
escape room.
Yeah, well, yeah.
it was okay. 2 teams of 4 people each,
Mhm.
so 8 people total, and we were trying to break into a bank vault,
Mm,
and we were competing,
yeah.
see who could do it first, basically.
They were identical rooms.
Yeah.
We were in separate identical
Functionally
rooms.
identical.
Yeah.
I think there were maybe minor differences,
but
but
the same game.
same
Yeah.
functional. Yeah. And we had an hour to do it, and we were done in about 45 minutes.
Our team consisted of myself,
Yep.
Nick,
Yep.
Patrick
My
Coleman.
my brother and my best man Steven,
Mm-hmm.
who's one of I think probably my oldest friend.
None of us had done escape room
No.
stuff before.
Steven had.
Oh, okay.
I believe Steven had, but the 3 of us hadn't. The rest
Mhm.
of the other 3, and we just sort of. I don't want to brag, but we kicked butt. I think.
I think we did
I
kick
think
them.
we did kick butt.
Well, we had some technical.
Here's the thing.
We found a bug in the game.
Here's the thing. I don't think you did.
No, I think we did. There was
Basically,
there was some
wait-
lag issues for sure. Like
We were out of there with 15 minutes to spare, and then we're
Mm.
sitting around thinking, "Oh, I wonder when they're going to be done."
Yep.
And
Then
we're
we hear the
never
door
done.
lock.
You had to give in.
yeah,
And then there were complaints that one of the clues was missing,
yep.
but it turns out it wasn't missing. It just hadn't been found. And whose fault was that, Blake?
Well, look, it was a team effort. So really, the team was at fault. That no individual single person can really be blamed.
Okay.
Although, so what we were looking for was there was a bunch of tickets with numbers on.
Yeah, raffle numbers.
Yeah, raffle numbers. And what you needed to do was basically input all these numbers one at a time into a lock,
Combination
and
lock,
one of
yeah.
them will unlock it.
Uh-huh.
And we'd done that for several other locks.
Yeah.
So there were different piles of these raffle tickets, and we tried them on all these locks. But one of the locks we couldn't find the raffle tickets for, and turns out it was inside a box which we had opened and found the key for. We'd opened it, but there was a false bottom.
It wasn't a false bottom. This is a pretty standard, I mean, picture literally any, cash in hand box, like a cash box, or any office or.
It had a little tray
store
thing that could
or-
be pulled
A
out.
hidden
Yes.
compartment, if you
Yeah.
will.
It was definitely a
But
hidden
it-
compartment.
But it wasn't actually hidden.
It wasn't hidden. It was just part of the
was
standard design of
essentially
almost
yeah.
every box like this since
It was
time
very-
immemorial.
Yeah. If you needed to store bills, you would put it under this
Yeah,
tray.
exactly.
But I remember grabbing that and trying to yank this little tray out and being like, "Nah, this ain't coming out." And we'd been told earlier not to break anything, so I felt like if
Yes, they did say don't take anything off the walls.
yeah,
don't
I felt
crack
like
anything open.
if I'd really tried to get this thing out, I would have broken it.
Right.
So I just left it.
Uh-huh.
And
But-
then it turned out the raffle tickets were in there the whole time.
But
that
wasn't
we-
it just a single raffle ticket? It was just, or was it a
No, I think it was a
of raffles?
pile.
There's like 6.
yeah, you
Oh, okay.
needed
Yeah.
to
Figure
Oh,
out.
you didn't find any of them.
no
I thought it was just a single raffle.
no
ticket.
no
Okay.
yeah.
No, yeah. So I mean, they did find a bunch of raffle tickets.
Yeah.
There's like 18 total,
Hmm.
and they were hitting groups of 6, in various places.
Right.
But we also had so that wasn't really the technical difficulties. That was just me not being
Yes.
as aggressive at finding clues as I could have been. But the technical difficulty we had was there was a safe. We got to the safe, a big classic bank vault.
Yeah.
And it had some input like things that you needed. So you needed a PIN code, you needed a retina scan, which you got the fake eyeball.
Find an eyeball in a bag, as you do.
Yeah, as you do. And you needed a security swipe tag thing.
Yeah.
And we
Like an RFID.
Yeah. And you start off with the security guy's like tag thing.
Yeah.
So we were trying to swipe it, and we seriously were there for probably like 10 minutes just trying to swipe this thing back and forth, and it wasn't picking up. And we're like, it must be this must be like a red herring or something, you know? Like this is a fake thing. This is a real tricky this is a real tricky game we're playing here. They're giving us fake clues, you know. They're leading us down paths that we're not supposed to go. So we were like trying to figure out what else, what else could be swiped, you know. And then we ended up calling for help. So the woman running the thing came in, and we were like, look, we've got the key code, we've got the retina scan, and like we can't figure out the security thing. Like we've tried this one, but it's obviously not this one. Like, what are we missing? Is there a clue we're missing that'll lead us to the real security swipe? And she's like, oh no, you just swipe it like this. And she swiped it like in a longer way than we were doing before, and it just went beep.
Yep. Yeah, basically the eyeball was also an RFID chip inside a big rubber eye.
Yeah.
And they only have one RFID sensor, and the like card sensor, it looks like it's off to the side, but it's just where the eyeball one is.
Oh my, that's the thing, because you swiped it across the entire panel where we were just trying to swipe it. Like there was a little box.
Yeah, it wasn't the best construction.
You know, that looks like this is where you put your tag on.
Nah.
You tag it, and so
Yeah,
that really slowed us down. We were
bit silly,
bummed out there. Yeah,
but you know what? Nah, still screwed up. We beat you fair and square, Blake.
I mean, yeah, you did, but it was a lot of fun.
It was fun. I've
fun
never
time.
done a puzzle room in my life.
Yeah,
I thought it was really fun.
Neither had I.
I'd happily do another one.
Yeah.
Steven and his partner Sekeli, his partner has done like tons of these puzzle rooms. He was in your group, I think.
Oh yeah. Wait, which guy was that?
Sekeli is he's the lawyer.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And he apparently has just done heaps of them in Sydney.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm surprised.
I had Jonathan on my team.
Mm-hmm.
He very much took the lead, but then at one point got really annoyed and was like, "We need to call for help." Because he was the one swiping this thing for ages and ages, and it just wasn't working.
Wow.
What was his name again?
Kelly.
Yeah, he definitely figured out a bunch of clues real quick.
Yeah.
And I just sort of dragged the team down.
Yeah, we're just opening boxes.
Yeah, I was just
half opening.
Yeah,
I was
only half opening.
I was not being aggressive enough with my searching. That's the problem. I got thrown off by at the start with the like, don't break anything. So I was like, oh.
Yeah. But Blake kicked butt in laser tag. I won one game. Blake won almost every other thing. We did 3 games total, but I think you were almost always on the other team.
Yeah, I picked the same team and the same name.
Yeah,
every time.
And you came first, I think, in every single game for that team.
Yep.
So Blake is terrifying.
It was also your first go at laser tag.
Yeah, I've
right?
never played laser tag before. I play paintball, and I lose terribly at paintball. Almost break my arm the last time I played paintball.
How did you almost break your arm?
Well, I ran out. I definitely told this story on the podcast. The visor was fogging up so much that I couldn't see anything. And
you karate chopped it.
And I got to a
wall.
point where I was just huddling behind a chest high wall.
Yeah.
I was huddling behind there, and then like the round stopped, and then the next round started, and I was like, this is bullshit. All I'm doing is huddling behind the thing because I can't see anything. And I sort of like wiped my visor a little bit, and when we started again, I thought, fuck it, I'm just going to run straight out Rambo style.
Oh, no.
But the visibility was like so bad, and we're in a forest, and there's like twigs and shit all over the ground. I just tripped up. I got blasted heat. Like the team just like laid into me because I just ran straight into the team, the opposite team. And I got tripped up on some twigs and branches and stuff on the ground.
Yeah.
And landed with my arm out, and I heard a pop. And I was like, oh no, I think I've broken my arm. But it was fine. It just swelled up real bad, and I had a bruise that went from my elbow to my wrist.
Oh, far out.
While you were running out, were you like, take that? Or like screaming? Did you have like
Just
a
like-
victory yell?
What did I run?
chant?
I just shouted, "Fuck it!" and just ran out there, being like, "This is a real bad idea."
Yeah, could you see anyone or anything?
I could. I was shooting at people, but like, it was so fogged up from your breath that like my peripheries were almost gone. I could see like I had tunnel vision basically. Like all I could see was a very small section in front of me.
Wow.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
I love
but laser
people.
tag, we didn't have to worry about that.
No.
It was great.
Yeah. And then we had dinner.
Yep.
At a nice Japanese restaurant.
Mhm.
What did you guys think of that place? I liked it.
That place was real cool, dude. But like, I've never been to a restaurant in that fashion.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
In
What,
the seashore?
what does that mean?
And where they
I'm very curious.
where they're like, here's where you go, you sit down, and then they give you a list of food, and they're like, here's what we'll be serving you,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and they give you
You've
little
never had a set menu before?
no, and they give you little bite-sized. Like this is amazingly new to me,
Huh.
and they give you like little bite-sized things,
Yeah.
and she's like, it might not seem like much, but once you get through this whole thing, this whole list of food, it's like a full dinner.
Yeah.
And I'd never had that before,
You
and I thought it was real cool.
Yeah. That's basically, I mean, I've spoken at length about the fancy dinners
Yeah.
I've gone on for various birthdays because my now wife and I we just love food.
Yeah.
And so,
No, you've talked about. I remember you went on some cruise where they were just bringing out dishes.
dish after dish after
Yeah.
dish. Yeah. I mean, it's the same deal. I mean, we went to this place called Siddhart in Auckland, which is like a super fancy restaurant.
Yep.
And it's the same thing. It was like 8 courses plus like snack courses and the cheese course, which that apparently doesn't count. Their cheese course, by the way, was a goat cheese ice cream.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really weird but delicious. And they had like caramelized pear jelly.
Oh,
like
yeah.
little cubes of caramelized pear gelatin. Anyway, amazing place. But it's that style where each plate is kind of like a small, just a few little bites or whatever it is.
Yep.
But because you get like 9 or 10 of them,
Yeah.
by the end you're like, I'm good.
It was pretty great. I could have gone for another dessert serving though. Like those desserts.
Those were good.
were
Deep
so
fried
damn
custard,
good. Yeah.
vanilla custard. Yeah, I don't know if you had a look at the margaritas. They had like
No.
these special margaritas. I had a jalapeno and coriander margarita,
Whoa.
and it was actually really delicious,
Yeah.
but very
Was it spicy?
unusual. It was spicy. It was spicy and coriandery.
Nice. Was it the two things that it had?
It was the two things. Yeah, I had both of them.
Yeah.
So that was quite good. I had a good time. And then we tried to find a bar after that and failed.
We passed a bar that was blasting DMX, and I was like, "This is probably the place that we're gonna go."
Yep.
That
That was cool.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, on a Thursday night, not many places are open too late.
But we did end up at a very the chillest
Whiskey and gin bar.
yeah,
basically.
whiskey and gin bar. It was the atmosphere was amazing. The bartender just didn't give a fuck. It was great. He was.
Yeah.
I went up to grab a drink and I was like, "Where's the bartender?" And your brother says, "Oh, he's gone out for a smoke."
Yeah. And he gave me a free
Yeah.
shot of something. That was nice.
Oh, that was cool. Yeah, it was good. And
Good time.
yeah, talking to that bartender, he was like complaining about how you can get douchebag whiskey connoisseurs
Yeah.
come in and like
Pretend like they know more
pretend
about it.
pretend like they
than the
know
guy who
more.
works there.
Yeah, and he's just like this down to earth's like, yeah, it's just it's whiskey, it's no big deal. Like there's all these different types, whatever,
Yeah.
and just isn't like a what would you call it, a hipster about it,
Right.
and
But then there are
and then
people
you
who
get these people
in.
come in and be like, oh yeah, there's hints of nutmeg, and he's just like,
Uh-huh. Yep. It all just tastes like whiskey to me, honestly.
right, yeah,
But it was fun. And then, of course, the wedding. I bawled like a baby girl during my vows.
It was very touching. It was cool. There was a moment
Thank
where Paul, workmate Paul, stood
Yeah.
up which was quite hilarious. He was sitting in between you.
Oh,
and...
yeah.
I really
Yeah.
enjoyed that part.
During our speeches, Carrie and I were sitting near each other,
Yep.
but Paul was between us, and people are giving these heartfelt speeches about the two of us, and Paul's sitting between us awkwardly.
Yep.
And at some point, he finally gets up and moves. And like, Carrie and I, upon reflection, were like, we could have just asked him to move, and he would have done it, and it wouldn't have been nearly as awkward. But we just did not think of it.
Yeah.
We're just both so socially unaware.
There was I think the thing was there was a point in a speech where somebody said, you know, you and your beautiful wife, and like gestures over to you, and everyone looks, and it's like you and Paul.
Yeah.
And he just like awkwardly gets up and shuffles over.
So cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was another really cool thing that I thought like just sums up both you and Kerry was that what was the song that you both walked back up the aisle to?
It was the Jurassic Park theme. Yep.
It's pretty great.
That was our recessional, I think is what it's called.
Is it?
I think it's what it's called.
That was epic.
Yeah. And in the background of the wedding, because this was out in a
Yes,
park,
this was so good. I loved this.
in the background of the wedding, there was some kind of live action role play happening.
Yeah, they claim that they're just some social club from some university, but it was like, I don't know, 50 people.
Yeah.
Most of them dressed up as like monks or Jesus, or there was a guy dressed up as a king. There was a woman dressed up as a witch.
A lot of togas.
Yeah, just tons and tons of costumes.
There was some fairy wings going on.
Still really don't know why.
There were cones laid out in specific like patterns.
Yeah, I thought maybe they were playing Quidditch.
Yeah, that's what I thought originally.
But
then on
not.
closer inspection, Jesus was never in Harry
No,
Potter.
I don't remember that
I know.
part of the films or books.
No.
But we managed to get a photo. We our Carrie's maid of honor grabbed like 6 of these people in like fancy costumes, and we got nice like professional photos with these people.
That's awesome.
It was so good.
Yeah,
it was a good time.
That was great.
I didn't know getting married would be so much fun.
Should do it again.
Yeah, I might.
The weather brought it too.
Beautiful day.
Dude, it was good stuff all around.
Yeah. Highly endorse getting married. This doesn't matter who, too. Just grab someone, get married for the fun of it.
Yep.
No.
Anyone on the street.
Yep.
Just grab 'em.
Literally anybody will do.
Yep.
So yeah, that was why I was away. We were
Mm-hmm.
planning the wedding and had family over. And also before that, or no, after that, during that, we released Bestiary.
Right.
So
What did you work on?
I wrote Einhar.
You wrote him.
I wrote him.
Okay.
So that was my main contribution. I did some other stuff as well, but primarily it was Einhar, and he was very well received.
Cool.
He's getting memed up on the Reddit
Oh yeah.
and the forums. People just love talking about Einhar and quoting Einhar.
Oh, that's cool. Oh man, if they're quoting him, that's like they're quoting you.
Yeah, pretty
Whoa.
much. If you guys go on the Reddit or whatever, you'll see people saying "stupid beast" over and over and over and over and over again.
You're like, that's me.
Yep, that's me. I wrote "stupid beast." I also got
What was your thought process behind that sentence? Coming up with that sentence.
That's a good question. I just thought Einhar probably thinks these animals are stupid and that he's smarter than them, and I think he would be fine in announcing that.
Yeah.
And so I just thought it would be funny, and it was funny.
Yep.
I also got to help. Direct the voice actor.
Oh, cool.
So that was cool. I've never done that before, but
Where did they do that?
well, we did it in 2 chunks. One was at like this. We have a guy who usually directs the voice stuff, but for various reasons, I had to direct this second chunk, and we did that from the office. I went into the meeting room, and we did it over Skype because our voice actor that we hired for Einhar has a home studio.
Yep.
And he just did a great job. It took a little bit for him to settle into the character, but once he sort of figured out the tone for the character, he was so easy to work with, and he just like had fun with it.
Dude, oh my god. I was seriously just about to say, did you tell him to just have fun with it?
I didn't, but he did.
He knew.
Yes, he knew to just have fun with it. You know, hey man, just have fun with it.
So you actually heard like the quality of the audio coming through Skype?
I mean, it sounded way worse.
Yeah.
On Skype, and also we were using the speakers we were using from the projector in the meeting room, which are not great.
Yep.
So
like,
I was really
no,
going on faith that it was going to sound good once it came out.
I like the tinny quality.
Yeah.
Of,
I like how it sounds like you're going over Skype. Oh no, where did that quality go? No, it was.
Hey, can you increase your bit rate right now?
But yeah, no, that was an interesting experience. I've never had to direct before, and I didn't really do much directing. I just sort of made sure that he got the line as written, and when the line as written wasn't good, I tried a few variants with him. And,
but if you wrote it, like if you basically came up with that character, so you know, like how he should kind of sound and all that. So you.
I knew the context for it, and like whether he would be indoors or outdoors or like far away from the player or near the player. All of this is important because, like, you don't want him just mumbling when he's meant to be like far away, and you don't want him shouting when he's like next to the player. Although sometimes you do. It really depends.
Sometimes you do.
What was your hit rate like on the fly directing, changing lines, that kind of thing?
What do you mean?
How much of on paper actually came across in what you?
Almost all of it. It was
okay.
mostly the last, like, there were a couple things that I had to change on the fly because, like, either the game mechanics were still undergoing changes, or it was like we just didn't have audio for that until that morning. Like, we didn't have anything written for it until that morning, and I was like, oh, we need to write this up real quick, and I hadn't had anybody really read it over, and as he read it over, I was like, this is bad. Let's change this.
Oh man!
And so I just said, "Hey, can you say it this way?" And instead of saying the thing that I've sent you, say this instead. So it was just, just making calls on the fly as to whether or not it was like.
Did you have to? Because I noticed, like for video games, people need to like do grunts and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Do you have to ask? Is that weird asking for that?
Oh, so we got all the grunts and stuff done in the first session, and so the guy we were working with had all of that covered.
Okay.
And in fact, he got a bunch of audio that I don't know that we've ever had to get before, and have definitely never used before. But he made our voice actor snore, like for a really long time, like pretend that you're snoring and it's like asleep. And we've never had need to have a character snore, and we still haven't, and we probably never will. But now we have audio of Einhar snoring somewhere.
Yep.
Cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. So that was fun. I'm glad that people like Einhar. I'm gonna admit something.
Oh.
Because this is very controversial. In the most recent patch, 3.2.1, one of the patch notes was that we were gonna make his audio not play 100% of the time. Right now, anytime you catch a beast or whatever it is, he comes out and he says a line. And before we had launched, I wanted him to say it only sometimes because I was worried it would get tiresome. Right. And I'm still worried it would get tiresome.
Yeah.
And so after it had launched and I realized that change hadn't made it through, I asked for us to cut it down to like 25% of the time instead of 100% of the time. And so we put this patch note in, and tons of complaints immediately. Like,
really?
Yeah. And it was like, no, this is the best part of the league.
Really?
How dare you do this, GGG? And
that is the kind of thing that I thought people, once they've captured so many beasts, are sick of this guy.
Yeah, I thought so too. And I wanted to make sure that this was like the case. I think in the long term, I still think we should probably have cut him down. But it was there were so many complaints that we reverted it.
Yeah.
Back to saying it every time. But that's fine if people really like it. That's great.
Yeah, that's really weird. Cause, you understand the mindset of going into it, and just being like, this could get annoying.
Yeah. Because I knew like, okay, you're going to be capturing animals. Pretty regularly, and he's only got like 3 variants of one line and 3 variants of another. So
maybe the voice acting is just that good. People just like hearing.
You know what? Probably. I think that guy did a good job. He also runs a bed and breakfast.
Wow.
So I was thinking
does it all.
Thinking about going on like a mini moon because we haven't gone on our honeymoon yet.
Yep.
Maybe going on a mini moon to like his bed and breakfast, just being like, "Hey, what's up, guy?"
Oh, man.
He gave me his phone number to try if I wanted to book it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Wow. Okay.
Maybe I'll do that. I don't know if he's actually heard any feedback. The actor is called Jay Simon, and I think he did an awesome job. And I think everyone agrees on the internet he did an awesome job. So
That's
I need
cool.
to, at some point, make sure that he gets all the positive feedback he deserves.
Yeah. I think it's only in recent years that like voice actors have sort of been recognized.
Well, I think for a long time, voice actors in games were bad.
Well, that's true.
It's
yeah.
very rare that you had good voice acting in
Yeah.
games. And like even now, there's still a lot of bad voice acting in games.
You're talking about Dinklage in Destiny.
No, was that bad? I haven't heard.
Yeah.
It apparently wasn't well received
Yeah, it was weird.
because he's kind of a big name coming into it.
Yeah.
But I
Right.
guess his lines were just garbage.
Yeah, he delivered it in this like monotone thing, but that's got to have been the direction.
Yeah,
right?
I think he was channeling a robot.
Yeah, because he's playing a little robot guy.
Yeah. It's hard to tell sometimes. I'm also like when you have a big name like that, it's hard to get past
Yeah,
knowing who the actor is.
Yeah,
You ever
yeah.
like watch a movie with an actor you really like, and
Yep.
you're just like, oh, this actor's great in this movie, but you're not really into the character at all because you're distracted by the actor.
yeah. That's why, like, there are those actors that when they're good, you don't see
Anything other than the character.
just you just see the character.
Yeah.
That's acting. So I just
you.
described
Yeah.
acting.
So you heard it here first. That's how.
Let me
acting
tell
is.
you how to act.
Video games are funny because like bad lip syncing can ruin it. It might not even be the voice performance. Like the actual visual can just throw off like how you interpret or read.
Yeah, it's a risk
know what I
I
mean?
think nowadays to have lip syncing it at all because it either has to be spot on, in which case like that's just a ton of time and effort, or it has to if you just don't have lip syncing, it's fine because you just inherently accept it.
Yeah.
But if it's like stuck in this weird middle ground where it's like some of it is good and some of it is bad, and it's sort of or it's a little out of sync or whatever, it does stick out a lot. Like
Yeah.
that was one of the biggest problems with Mass Effect Andromeda.
I was
right?
thinking Mass Effect just now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the biggest problems.
One of the biggest, one of the many problems.
We talked about Horizon being real shocking for that. Like,
Yeah.
it almost seems like they just ran like a program to auto lip sync a lot of
Which is common.
characters. Yeah,
From what I hear.
because I remember seeing several like some characters their foreheads would move with their words, like the program is moving those instead of like their mouth.
Moving the forehead?
Yeah, their forehead would just start like moving with with their speech.
Right.
Like, so their mouth will move, but at the same time, their forehead would move up or down, like a frown or a surprise or like,
Well, that's what actually happens when people talk.
not like
right?
this.
Okay.
No one's sitting here like, if this was a visual thing, I'm doing it right now.
Oh, wow. I'm so glad our listeners can't see that. It's terrifying. Blake is like lifting his eyebrows up and down in such a way that it was
He was like surprised to
unsettling.
angry.
Yeah.
Just, yeah.
With a split second.
that was odd. So we haven't really talked about what we played at all. But I've been playing.
You've been playing the game of life.
Yeah.
Oh.
Getting married.
Getting married, playing Legend of the One Ring.
Whoa.
No, I don't know.
A Lord of the Rings.
Huh?
No, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm the Lord of the Ring now. Just the one.
Single ring.
Yeah.
I think Carrie's got one as well.
She does have one.
Oh.
She's
Yeah.
the Lady of the Ring.
Right.
So, yep. Been playing that.
Good stuff.
Yep. They've announced a new Hearthstone set.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I didn't know. What is it?
The Witchwood, I think is what it's
Okay.
called. It seems like the themes are building your deck around even cost cards and odd cost cards. Like if all of the cards in your deck are odd cost, you get this effect when you play this card.
Okay.
When they're all even, you get this effect.
That's cool.
It's fine. We'll see.
You've gone, man, you're in a downward spiral with Hearthstone. Like every time there's a new expansion out, you always are just like, yeah, it's okay. It's
Well, I think part of the problem. Okay, the last expansion was actually really cool. They had some really interesting cards that had a lot of flexibility but the power levels were all off.
Yeah.
Like it's very rare that they nerf cards mid expansion, but they had to nerf a bunch, and there were a bunch of other ones that probably should have been nerfed.
Yeah.
And that I think will continue to be like the dominant and defining cards of the next few blocks because they're so strong. And one of them is this card called the Gelatinous Cube.
Oh, wow.
Which kills you when you play it. You destroy one of your creatures, and then when it dies, it puts out 2 of whatever it destroyed. And now, when you combine this with things that trigger death rattles, or in particular, there's a thing that triggers death rattles when creatures enter the battlefield. So you can play this creature that triggers death rattles when things enter the battlefield, target another creature with this thing that eats it, and then immediately puts out 2 more creatures.
Yep.
Because its death rattle is just being triggered, and when it dies, it'll still put out another 2 creatures. Ooh. And there are decks that are built around like turning 1 creature into like 7.
Jesus.
You know, and it's very strong, and a little bit uninteractive, but it's a really cool mechanic, and that's one of the cooler mechanics they've been introduced. But that's just like one random card out of the set. When you're looking at like a set like Witchwood, where it's like there's a bunch of cards that are based around your deck being completely even or completely odd, it's a very narrow band in which you can build your deck. Like it's very much like, this is the deck you're playing. You're playing the evens deck. You're playing the odds deck or whatever, you know. And I don't love when design is funneled in that way. Does that make sense? I don't love it when it's like, this is the block where everyone's decks are going to be one of these 5.
Oh,
or whatever,
yeah, I get you.
You know?
Yeah.
The Jade. This is my problem with like they did the Gadget Zan expansion a couple of years ago, and they had like the Jade Druid archetype, which is still crazy strong. And I don't love that it's like you're playing Jade Druid, and it's like these 20 cards plus whatever else to support them. You know, I just don't like that especially. I rather see a little more freedom.
Yep.
But
so you like the gelatinous cube type?
I do like it. Yeah,
it's like one card and you can like really change a whole deck.
Yes,
basically.
And you can. There's a lot you can do with that kind of card because it's got a death rattle, it's got a battle cry, it has interactions with your own board, things that have like a few different avenues along which to pursue. Like interesting synergies are much more interesting to me as a game player and game designer than things that are like, this is the archetype you're playing.
Yep. You want to find the synergies for yourself, then have a deck that is like you're told what the synergies are.
But on top of that, it's more like I want I want it to be something that can lead to more interesting hooks later.
Okay.
Or makes you reassess old cards.
Yeah, actually that's really good, bringing old cards in some way.
And this is what I mean, the gelatinous cube thing had interactions with Doomguard, which was like, one of the first cards, like one of the from the core set.
And a lot of old cards have death rattles that are kind of cool.
So I don't. They've only revealed a few cards, but I don't love the sort of evens and odds mechanic so far. Maybe it'll be really cool, but right now it just sounds like they're making a few archetypes, and those are what they're gonna focus on for this expansion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you play the last? Kobolds and Catacombs.
Yeah, this is the one with the gelatinous cube.
Yeah. That's because that's straight from D&D.
Is it?
Gelatinous cube, yeah.
Interesting. Actually, I think it's called Carnivorous Cube in Hearthstone. Now that I think about it.
Oh yeah.
But I think it's probably the same.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same thing. But yes, I did play quite a lot of it. And they've made changes to Arena, which are cool.
Oh yeah.
And I'll play some more Arena when the next set comes out.
Because Arena's your jam, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is indeed. Some would even say is my gelatinous
jam.
His jam is
Your
flatness.
your
is the
your
joke.
your cube jam.
Man, Severn's just shaking his head, and for good reason.
Um,
What have you been playing, Severn?
Surprise, surprise! I'm back in playing some Grand Theft Auto.
Oh,
Online.
really?
Yeah.
Really? What
well-
brought you back?
A mate of mine came back on, and last night we had a pretty good game session. Started playing some heists, which I hadn't actually done much of.
Playing what?
The
Heists, did you say?
Yeah.
Okay.
The online heist.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. One of them was it wasn't much of a heist, but we had to kill these guys, steal their car, get into this funeral procession. Like we were following like
For the guy you
great.
killed? The guys
other
you
guys.
killed?
Well, there was a funeral going on with this gang,
Uh-huh.
and so a group of them were meeting out like outside somewhere. Anyway, we had to roll up there, and it was 4 of us, so 2 of us to a car, and then
Yep.
one of us out the window, one driver. So we were just like hiffing grenades and stuff. Anyway, kill these guys, all pile into this car, and then just follow like this motorcade,
The funeral
basically.
procession. Yeah.
Like to the funeral.
Yeah.
Then once we were there, we kind of suited up beforehand, so we didn't look out of place.
Yeah.
We just walk in, and then I think you kind of see the whole funeral kind of play out.
Yeah.
And then you just mow everyone down and like, and
True,
take off with
like
the
a true mafia funeral.
yeah.
Wow.
It was pretty hardcore, and
Did
very
people
fun.
fall into the open grave?
I wasn't checking. I actually died.
Oh,
Yeah, I know.
death at a funeral.
I know. But you only have like 2 extra lives, like
Yep.
between the 4 of you.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
So I used up one of the lives
Yep.
because I thought this guy to my left was like one of my friends.
Oh, man, because you're all wearing
But he was
suits.
actually but he was shooting me, and I was like,
Oh.
and I didn't realize until
Yeah.
like it was on the
Did you
brink.
give who you like the friend you thought some shit, being like, "What the fuck?"
no, because I was like, oh damn, I should have seen that. Yeah, so we've been playing some of that. Did a couple of races as well, and still working my way through Shadow of Colossus.
Yep.
And
Hey, enjoying that?
I am.
That's
yeah.
cool.
the
At some
boss-
point, I want to borrow it if I can.
Oh yeah,
'cause
yeah, for sure.
it's a game I've always wanted to play and never actually
Oh,
have.
you got it on CD.
Yeah. What?
Whoa! I thought people downloaded stuff.
on
On
CD?
PlayStation?
Yeah, don't you just download stuff on PlayStation?
Did you get that one on cassette?
on CD? Did you get that on? Is that on compact disc?
I don't know how things are like outside of New Zealand, but I think when The Last of Us was coming out,
Yeah.
it was either $80 in store or
Yeah.
$120 on the PlayStation Network.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's
Yeah,
a
alright.
very easy
Yeah,
decision
yeah.
to be like, I'll get the same game
Yeah,
without having to spend like bandwidth or anything.
Right, and you get a cool box.
Yeah,
you do.
yeah.
Get it. Yeah.
So I've got a lot of discs.
I
I'm all
I
in.
honestly still prefer having the physical copy of a game. I think
Yeah. Well,
Um,
same here.
just because it's nice to have a thing. It's nice to own a thing. It's nice to, when you pay for something, feel like you're actually getting something,
Mm.
not just some bits are being.
It
thrown
does.
at you.
Yeah, it does make it feel more real.
Yeah.
Well, I question the whole like, why isn't it cheaper online?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you know, I
So,
come at from that.
Yeah. You raise a good point. But I know the reason.
Tell me.
It's because they don't want to undercut their retail vendors.
Mm.
If, for example, you are the game publisher, let's say you're Sony,
Okay.
and you've put out The Last of Us or whatever it is,
Mm.
and the recommended retail price is $110, and so all of your stores like JB Hi-Fi and EB Games, whatever, they're selling the game for $110, and then online you're like, 80.
Yeah.
All of those stores are now going to go, hang on, what?
Mm.
No one's going to buy from us now.
Yep.
And so then you're like going to have
Mm.
a bad time trying to make future deals with them.
Yeah, and I guess if you're like, hey JB Hi-Fi, you want to stock our consoles?
Yeah, exactly. They'll be like, no.
Yeah, you know how you burn this on
Yeah.
like
No, we
software?
don't really want to make more losses
Yeah.
like we did last time.
We're selling Steam keys now. Like
Yeah, I guess so.
selling Steam
So-
credit. That's all.
Oftentimes, the only time you'll see like a good online sale is if it's the same sale on in the retail stores as
Right.
well.
Yeah.
And like, so
Yeah.
All right.
Steam does seem to be an exception because they just do whatever they want.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that though. But like, I think you're right. Even on Steam, like games like Grand Theft Auto, right, that you have it on PlayStation and stuff, you very rarely see it on sale on Steam, and I wonder if that's this like because of the same reason.
I don't think they care.
I mean, maybe they don't, but I almost never see like Grand Theft Auto for sale.
I always wonder why like Sony doesn't sell things on their New Zealand website. Like I was looking at Samsung TVs a while ago, and you can go out and just buy an Apple product on their website, and have it shipped to you. But like Sony, Samsung, they always like send you to a big box retailer.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know that was the case. Maybe this comes back to them like not wanting to undercut
Maybe
their outlets or whatever it is. I mean, Sony does have outlet stores though. Like,
yeah.
Do they?
yeah, in Sydney there's a Sony store.
There's a Sony store in Ponsonby.
Is there?
You don't remember?
No.
We like walked past it.
I don't look at things.
So they do have like retail outlets. I wonder why then. Yeah, odd.
Well,
Or maybe
I
it's
just found it
specific
weird.
to New Zealand. Maybe you can't buy things online
Well, maybe they just have
from New Zealand.
Maybe
What's
it's
Apple's
just
deal?
Apple's fine with it. Maybe they've got a better infrastructure for selling stuff online.
maybe
I
it's
think
just
it's
like a distribution thing. Like they've got all these different retailers selling their product instead of them having to invest in their own store to sell their product. Like
Except they still
Apple
have
does
a
it.
store.
I mean, Apple does it, but like I don't know, they're a weird special thing. And other stores sell Apple products anyway.
Yeah.
It's weird in New Zealand because there is no like dedicated Apple store.
Yeah.
Is there not?
No,
There's no Apple store here?
I don't think
No.
so.
you don't notice?
I mean, I don't
I've
care
never-
about Apple that much, honestly.
No, we
don't think
had
about them.
something called Yobi, and that was pretty much an Apple store.
You know what
What?
Yobi was?
What?
Yobi was Natcol rebranded. They were an authorized like Mac, Apple. You're
But they
thinking
were a store.
YOO.
No, they were a store.
They sold stuff too. But
What? But they were a university.
that was Natcol. Yeah,
What?
yeah. They rebranded.
What? How is this a thing?
You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, they advertised everywhere too. They competed with Media Design School.
So why do they have an Apple? Why do they have
They're
Apple
just
stores?
like a reseller.
Oh, okay.
They're one of those
Yeah, 'cause
guys.
I remember going to some event at a Ubi store
Yep.
and looking around and being like, oh, this is like an Apple store.
Up by Grafton? I think they're in Newmarket too.
It used to be down near Britomart. Listeners, you know where Britomart is, down in the train station.
You know what? I'm going to change the subject now.
Yeah. Let's not talk about Ubi.
This is like I mean, even I'm like lost. I live here. I want to talk about a life hack.
Oh yeah.
A life hack that I discovered.
Yeah.
If you're ever getting married,
This is gonna be okay. Married wisdom from Nick from
yeah.
I know what Nick's gonna say.
yeah.
Oh, do you? Oh, because I doubt you do.
Cheese wheel.
Damn it! No, that's not what I was gonna say. But hell yeah, get some cheese wheels for your reception.
Well, just get some cheese wheels.
Get some cheese wheels.
Yeah.
If you're alive, go eat
Get
some cheese.
wheels.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you're vegan, got nothing for you. Head on back.
Eat some vegan cheese.
That's a Survivor quote. If you're ever getting married, you and your wife / husband, after the wedding ceremony is all done, just wander around the city in your nice outfits. You will get free stuff.
Oh.
I think that's fine for dudes to do, but like women have a hell of an elaborate
Yeah, no,
dress. Like
yeah, but at that point, it doesn't matter if it gets dirty or whatever, because you're not going to
Okay.
wear it again.
yeah.
Like, well, in theory, hopefully.
So is that what you guys were doing?
Yeah, so we went after the we rented a hotel for the evening because it's just like a fun, fancy thing to do.
Yeah.
And we went and checked into our hotel, and then we went out and we went to Al's Deli,
Nice.
which is a place that we sometimes go for food.
Huh.
And we went there. It was like, I don't know, 7. The place was completely empty.
Yep.
We ordered a couple milkshakes, and the girl behind the counter, while we were drinking our milkshakes, took like a sneaky photo. Like I saw her out of the corner of my eye,
great.
like taking a photo of
Yep.
us sitting down in our like in my nice vest, and she's
Mm.
in her wedding dress and drinking our milkshakes and eating chicken. And as we were leaving, she was like, "How was everything?" And we're like, "It was good." And that Snickers milkshake in particular is really good. And she's like, "Oh, do you want a Snickers donut on the house?" And they're like, and she's like, or lemon meringue, and we're like, we'll get the Snickers one.
And you're like, how about a cheesecake?
We're like, I'll have the Snickers one. She goes, okay, great, and she gives us both.
Oh man.
So
your life hack, you don't have to get married to do that.
you just have to be in.
You can just hire a tuxedo and a wedding dress and go and get free food.
It's a little less ethical, I think.
Sure, but
it's
a life hack.
Yeah, that's true.
You're hacking it. It's
a slightly
fine.
unethical life hack.
Yeah.
It's a gray hat hack.
Yeah.
But if you've actually gotten married that day, totally white hat.
Oh yeah, it's fine. I mean, I guess the key is to just not keep going back to the same place.
Yes. Yeah. But man, I'll tell you what, you get freebies. We got a free coffee and cinnamon girl card. We got 2 of those for the federal deli. So
That's
we're gonna
great.
get some free coffee and cinnamon girls. Cinnamon girls are buns, just FYI.
I was wondering
They
what
are
that was.
food. They are not people. Just wanted to clarify that. And we got some free baklava from Petra Shawarma.
Oh, okay.
My goodness, you were really milking this.
We just go into every store, just walking around, being like, oh.
We actually got the baklava the next day.
You just went for round 2.
Yeah.
Put your wedding dress back on. Let's get going.
No, we were regulars there during the early stages of our relationship.
Yeah.
And they still recognize us. And so when we told them that we got married, they gave us a bunch of free baklava.
Dude, that's great. So that's another life hack. Start
Yeah,
dating a
yeah,
girl,
just be-
always go to the same place, and then eventually get married.
It is
and you'll get free
it is
stuff.
definitely a long turnaround on
It's a
that
long
one.
con.
Yeah. I highly endorse getting married if you want free stuff.
Yeah.
It's real good. That was a fun day.
Yeah,
I'm gonna keep harping on about it for a while.
it was cool.
And thank you guys for
Looking
coming.
forward to the next one.
Oh, jeez.
You're looking at me when you say that, but I reckon Severn's in the next one, right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Man, just put him on the spot.
Oh,
Don't do that.
No, we'll skim on
Well,
past
you guys,
that.
you guys, like, people renew their vows all the time.
That's true. I don't think people will. I don't know. You guys wouldn't get me like renewing vow gifts, probably.
But I'll happily eat your renewing vow cheesecake and
Yeah.
pizza and with cheese wheels.
Yeah, if you live in the Auckland area and you haven't had Toto's Pizza yet, go get some Toto's Pizza. That place is amazing.
How close to Britomart is that?
It's pretty close.
Down near the train station?
yeah. Like on that street, like Queen Street, whatever. All right.
It's
We're
good
pretty
stuff.
much out of time, probably.
Actually, I did want to ask Sav, because you were looking into Cyberpunk, the new CD Projekt Red game.
This is too big.
Is this too big? Should we hit this next week?
I think we should save this topic.
Okay, cool. Because we've made a decision, announcement, big podcast announcement. We're gonna try and plan ahead what we're gonna talk about.
We're gonna try
and be a little more professional.
We'll try to do better.
Yeah. So basically, Severn wants to talk about Cyberpunk, the CD Projekt Red.
Well, I think we're excited about it.
Yep.
And
I'm excited that you're excited.
Maybe some listeners are excited. Maybe we can have an open discussion about this thing.
Yeah. If you've got thoughts about
Yeah.
Cyberpunk, which I don't because I haven't read anything about it, email us.
We should, because you sent me a bunch of links to rumors.
Yeah, basically
rumors.
the rumor mill started.
Yeah, so we should post the hottest rumor that you've got.
Hottest.
The hottest one.
Yep.
Hot takes.
Yep. And we'll post it on the Facebook.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me. If you'd like to see that Facebook page, facebook.com/frontseatcast. That's where you find it. You can email us frontseatquestions@gmail.com. Sometimes we answer them. Sometimes we read them out. We usually read them. Almost always, if not always. And usually we'll get back to you if you've just got a question for us. You can tweet at us at frontseatcast. We've got a YouTube channel, youtube.com/frontseatcast, and a WordPress site, frontseatgamer.wordpress.com. We're very, very contactable, is what I'm saying. So why not contact us? And you should also rate us on iTunes and tell your friends.
Yep. And since we're talking about what we're going to be talking about,
What?
Since we're talking about what we're going to be talking about, I played.
Should we talk about that? We're going to talk about what we're going to be talking about?
We did, but off air.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry. Already
That's a
said
separate podcast.
that. That's the pre-front seat gamer cast.
So I played the open beta of Sea of Thieves last weekend, and I'm gonna get it.
Okay.
I'm gonna get it. So next weekend, I'll be
We're gonna
talking about Sea of
talk about
Thieves.
that?
Yeah.
Not next weekend. Next weekend.
Next episode.
2 weeks from now.
Yep.
Cool. Well, look forward to some talk about Cyberpunk and Sea of Thieves and probably Hearthstone.
And Nick with more wedding wisdom
Yep.
from Nick.
Some life hacks.
Some
Yep,
more life
life
hacks.
Now that I'm
wedding-related
married-
life hacks.
They send you a book about life, I'm pretty sure.
Oh man. Yep.
They don't. I still don't know what I'm doing. All right, cool. See you in a couple weeks. Bye.
Your dad was a fan of the podcast. He mentioned
Yes.
it several times.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dad does love the podcast.
He's a cool dude.
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
I can see where all the coolness comes from, Nick.
Yep.
Thank you. Oh dear.
But yeah, cheesecloth. I can bring you guys in some if you want.
Oh, mate. that's
Cheesecloth.
great. Yep. I love some cheesecloth.
The pop filter.
Yep. It might actually be good. Yeah.
I'll bring in some. For you.
Yeah.
Talking about cheesecloth. Ooh, that cheese.
Oh,
The wedding.
dude,
Oh.
I had so much of that.
Ooh.
I wanted to have more. Of
Yeah, me too. I can't believe I filled up on cheese before cheesecake
And pizza.
and
covered
pizza.
in cheese.
Yeah, I hardly had any of that pizza because I was so filled
really?
up with it. I was just going. Oh, I
Did you have
very
any of
rarely.
it?
Yeah, I had some.
Did you have the Dioro, the ham one?
I don't know what
Ham
one I had.
cheese?
Yeah. Did you see the one with ham on it and rosemary?
I'm not sure which one I had, but it was pretty delicious.
We should go to Toto's sometime and get a meter long pizza. It's not even that expensive.
A meter long
How-
pizza.
Yeah, they're meter-long pizzas.
That's what we had at the wedding.
You order them in meters. You just
Yeah.
like, I have 15 meters of pizza.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it looked awesome, man. I thought guitars were coming out or something.
Did you have any of it? You did.
Of course, yeah.
Good.
I had a couple slices.
So good.
How much is it for a meter?
Popped up.
Like less than 50,
Okay.
and that'll feed like 4
Yeah.
plus people. So like
Not when I'm
5
around.
people. Huh?
Not when I'm around.
No, even with you around. I know how much you can eat or whatever,
Yeah.
but no.
All right, it's a challenge. It's
Here we
fucking
go.
on.
Yep.
Yep. All right.
It's the meter. It's the meter pizza challenge.